Hey you guys. Yeah, I'm filming downstairs today, so I just came home from a dash and my mom is over at Rico's and I'm not doing well this week. As you can tell by the title, one of the four original members of KISS, Ace Frehley, has unfortunately passed away. And if you know me, you know that when I was a freshman in high school, I was going through a phase where all I talked about was Kiss. Kiss, 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 kiss. Because them and Motley Crue were my first concert. And even though Ace hasn't been in the band since the 2000s, still. And just, it really comes at a very bad time that I got the news. I got the news when I was dashing, actually. I pretty much had just finished my last delivery of the night, and I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go on home. And then I came home, which is why I'm doing this, and this week has just been really hard because if you are friends with me on Facebook, you know that Frank has passed away. Yeah, he was old and he couldn't walk anymore, and Lindsay came by and gave him a few shots that ultimately, and yes, she obtained them legally, don't worry, because she's an EMT, so pretty much she did all the legal stuff that she had to do to obtain what she needed to pretty much put him to sleep and make it peaceful, humane, mostly legal, and overall just to pretty much put him out of his misery. And but keep in mind, back in August, Pebbles passed away, and they were 16 years old, and they were best friends, and he pretty much lost his best friend, so he was heartbroken. And so, even though it was for the best, and you know, it was humane, it was peaceful, and we did bury him that night, even though me and Lindsay were pretty much digging the hole at almost 3 in the morning. It was worth it, and I got through yesterday just fine. I got through today just fine, but when I got the news about Ace Frehley, I just... I'm just glad the week is almost over. And to get back on the topic of Ace, because he's the title of the video. When I first started listening to KISS, it was pretty much just to ride the high of, I went to my first concert. And my dad pretty much downloaded a lot of KISS's original albums. I think pretty much all the albums except Music from the Elder during the original lineup years. And it wasn't just the greatest hits. I was just fixated on their music. I mean, from the time that KISS formed up until right before Creatures of the Night, Ace was the lead guitarist. And he was a songwriter on a lot of the biggest hits of the band. And pretty much the rest of the night, I'm just going to be jamming to his music to remember him. And he's the only member from KISS that I have he's the only one with a solo career that I actually have. Granted, it's just one. I have one of his albums, one of his solo albums. It's called Space Invader. And of course, I have Kiss Love Gun on vinyl because it was a gift. And overall, Ace will definitely be missed because there is a lot of guitarists, including Dimebag Darrell, Scott Ian from Anthrax. I'm trying to remember these names, so it's gonna be a little bit. Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue, even though he's a bass player. Charlie Benante from Anthrax, even though he's a bass player. Pretty much just a lot of hard rock and metal's best guitarists were influenced by Ace Frehley. Either Ace Frehley or Eddie Van Halen. And I would not have Ace Frehley and Eddie Van Halen in the same sentence if I didn't freaking mean it. They're both in the same league. And Ace more than earned the right to be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the other three original members of Kiss. Granted, I wish that Eric Carr, Vinnie Vincent, Mark St. John, Bruce Kulick, Tommy Thayer, Eric Singer, I wish that all of them had been inducted, not just the original four guys. And my ultimate favorite member of Kiss is Eric Carr. My ultimate favorite... I was about to say favorite character, but my favorite member of the original lineup was Ace. And Eric Carr passed away the same day that Freddie Mercury did in 1991. And Ace was Eric Carr's best friend. So, at the very least, the silver lining, again, my motto on this channel is stay positive. One positive is Ace can finally hang out with Eric Carr again. And if Gene and Paul don't like it, tough shit. They're in the afterlife now. They can hang out, they can jam, they can party. Well, in Ace's case, maybe not party because he was sober the last 20 years of his life, but they can spend time together, they can hang out, they can have fun together again. And honestly, me personally, I just can't put into words how much I love Ace Frehley and I love Kiss. But overall, I'm just glad that even though how he died was he fell twice and hit his head. He hit his head the second time he fell, and that's ultimately what caused him to be put on life support, on a respirator, and ultimately his family came to the very difficult decision to put him out of his misery. And I know that Ace suffered the last days of his life, but I'm just glad he's not suffering anymore. And neither is Frank, neither is Pebbles. The silver lining with all of this is they all found peace. And I hope they all rest in peace. So, until next time, stay positive and stay awesome, everyone. See ya. And thank you, Ace. Rest in peace.